following on YouTube. Also, if you want to be a part of the show, 622-9622 is the way to get involved. Later in today's show, we're going to talk a bit about the 6 amendments that are up for your vote on this year's ballot. We get a lot of talk about the people running for office. We get a lot of talk about school boards and county commissions and state representatives and U.S. House representatives and senators and governors and presidents. But the amendments to the Constitution, basically, you just show up and go, sounds good. I don't know what it means, but okay. And there's some amendments this year that bear some reading, bear some explanation. The biggest one probably being the constitutional amendment to make $15 the minimum wage in Florida. So we'll go over the 6 amendments that are up on the ballot this election cycle. Talk to you a little bit about them, give you a little more look into them, and let you make a more informed decision. That's what we're here to do for you at WOCA, is make informed decisions. Let's take a phone call real quick as we get the show started. Hi, caller. Who's this?
Yeah, good morning. This is Jim. I have a couple of personal comments on 2 of the amendments. The minimum wage amendment, no matter how you feel on the issue, is something that doesn't need to be cemented into the Constitution. It's something that needs to be taken up by the legislature every year according to the condition of the economy. That's just my opinion. So I'd be voting no on that. And the other one is the so-called open primary amendment, which is a 2-headed snake. It's a bait and switch because it's coupled with top 2. They propose a jungle primary like California, where all the candidates for one office appear on the ballot together. That's the open primary. And then only the top 2 go to the November election. And depending on what county you live in this state, you could be voting for a choice of 2 Democrats or a choice of 2 Republicans, and it utterly knocks third parties and no party affiliates completely out of the game.
And Jim, just the truth be told, Jim
gives a choice with one hand and takes away choice with the other.
And if truth be told, Jim, you're a constitutionalist, so that would be one of the third parties you're talking about.
Yep.
So we'll get into those. But Jim is on record as saying against minimum wage set as a constitutional amendment and against the jungle primaries. Jim, we got you duly noted, pal.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Yep. That is Jim Penna, a regular caller to the show. Before we get into the constitutional amendments, I want to go over a little news in the Ocala area. If you were wondering what was taking place late Monday afternoon around on Maricamp, around 17th Street, they had a 2-inch line blow apart, water main line. The line was tied to a larger 16-inch line, which took longer to repair. They had to shut it down and lower water levels and to complete the repairs. Really, really messed up traffic along Maricamp near 17th.
You think?
And that's a main area. That's right there in the historic district. The bank's right there and everything on Maricamp. In between 25th and downtown is where that took place on 17th right there. It's not a very good area to have traffic shut down.
Well, we had a special on the other day, Tom, about how much underground is being put, or not being put, has been put under us, that most of the people don't even know that it's there. They had, not too long ago, a rupture in another state of a gas line. They didn't even know there was a gas line there. How many people here in Ocala know that last year, the year before, there was a second natural gas line put in through Ocala
right
up above? Not everybody knew that. Not everybody. But how many properties it went through? I happen to know someone that owned one of the properties. He said they came through, they paid them, access fee or whatever the heck it was. They put all the piping in. They cleared. You can't even tell there's a pipe under there.
No, of course not.
But when they say
But when it explodes and destroys a whole city block, like we've seen happen in Massachusetts and in Connecticut and in New York,
Yeah.
When that happens, it's there.
Or when they say, call, was it 411 before or 811 before you dig?
Right.
Well, it's just my yard. Why should I call them?
Boom.
That's one of the
That's
reasons.
why.
That's one of the reasons you don't go digging in your yard over. Of course, I would say for plants and stuff, yeah, that's fine. But anything over 5 foot, you call.
I would say anything over 10 inches, call.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with phone lines, any of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Tom, what are you doing? Nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also in the news today,
What'd you get?
110 Westport High School students quarantined due to COVID-19.
Here we go.
Marion County school officials said Tuesday that about 190 students have been quarantined since Friday as a precaution after they had to close contact with a handful of classmates who tested positive for COVID-19. This according to a story at Ocala.com. One Westport student who tested positive for COVID late last week led Marion County Public Schools to quarantine 110 classmates. Kevin Christian, the Marion County spokesman, said also reported that all first grade and fifth grade classrooms at Reddick Collier Elementary School were moved to online because of COVID exposure.
Yeah.
Reddick Collier is one of the smallest schools in Marion County. Of the 373 total students, there are 61 in first grade, 65 in fifth grade. 2/3 of those students, roughly 80 students, were attending in person before the quarantine. School officials have said such quarantines are to be expected. As of Tuesday, Marion County overall has had 10,008 positive tests for COVID-19, 39 more than Monday, and 307 deaths, 2 more Monday. So that's Marion County, not the school system, just Marion County overall. At Westport, one student tested positive. Kevin Christian wants to reiterate, 110 students didn't test positive. They've just quarantined because of the interaction with the one student that tested positive.
You know what I seen yesterday, Tom? It was, it's the times. I had a meeting down in Spanish Springs in the Villages, PPIR, professional people in real estate. We had our meeting last night. But on the way, I drove there. I'm going right down 27. And that's 27 is like on the verge of the Villages. It is a village kind of thing, right? And on the left side, I seen this long white tent, and it said, COVID-19 testing, 15 minutes results.
Right.
What happened to the week? It takes 10 days. 15 minutes now. The straw in the nose, boom, and in 15 minutes.
Certainly.
But it didn't say how much it cost.
Well, no, it did not say that.
It did not say how much it cost.
Look, the way I figured, if you could take a pregnancy test and know within a minute and a half, you should be able to take a COVID test and know within 15 minutes.
Well, they do.
And you can now.
Yeah, but how much? $100, $200, $300, $25? Or is it? Does the insurance cover it? What? I don't know.
Look, it's a virus. It's not going away.
No kidding.
We're going to find a vaccine, but that vaccine's going to be, sometimes it's going to be effective. Sometimes it'll miss. It's a virus.
Get your flu shot now, though.
Negative.
Get your flu shot.
I've never, and see, before I get
you're
a
one
fight started with everybody.
Anti-flu shot?
I've never taken a flu shot because here's why.
Tell me why.
I'm a sports guy. Unlike you, I'm an admitted sports guy. You admittedly don't know sports.
Yeah,
I admittedly know sports.
There you go.
So one of my favorite sports is boxing.
Okay.
The way I'm going to bring this around to the anti-flu
That's I got to hear this one.
is the flu shot. When they give you the flu shot, it actually is taking a little bit of the flu virus that they think is the strongest virus.
It's dead.
Putting it in your body so your body can then create antibodies to more effectively fight the flu.
Correct.
To me, that sounds like if you see a guy throwing a left hook, lean in quicker so he hits you faster. That'll stop the whole blow of the left hook. You still get hit with a left hook, you're going down.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want to put it. To me, taking a flu shot sounds like just as you see the left hook coming, lean into it. Get hit by it a little quicker.
No, you're going to lean into it, but you're going to move when you lean into it, so it misses you.
No, I'm not taking a flu shot. Somebody goes, well, Tom, that's why you get the flu all the time. Do you know the last time I actually had to diagnose flu?
Tell me, Tom. Tell
15 years old.
There you go.
You know where it came from?
The flu shot.
Cadbury cream eggs.
Oh, Cadbury cream.
I got the flu from Cadbury cream eggs.
Okay.
I don't eat them. The only reason I say that is I ate a Cadbury cream egg, and then 4 hours later I was in the emergency room with 103 temperature and the flu. I know it had been incubating, and it just so happened, but I always associate now with Cadbury eggs because that was the word. I was in the hospital for 11 days with the flu.
That's it.
It was not good. That's why when people say, what about this COVID? It's like the flu. If it's like the flu I had where I was in the hospital for 11 days, I want none of it.
Who does?
And I have respiratory issues. I have asthma.
Yeah.
So I really don't want to.
What happens to you when they, you have to go in this restaurant and put a mask on? You have to go here and put a mask on.
I did.
How the hell do you breathe then? If you got asthma?
Well, you only had to leave the mask on until you got to the table, and then you got to take the thing off.
All right.
Stupid.
No, what if you go to, yeah, it is stupid. What about Wally World?
You just get adjusted to it.
Your
throat hurts for the next day because you've been breathing in carbon dioxide, and you get a little scratchy throat. But
that's good for you.
But it's it's no weights for Avatar. So you got the sacrifices you got to make so that you can ride.
Disney World.
So you can ride the mine train, and you don't have to.
No.
And you said Wally World. I don't go there.
Okay.
Okay.
How about Lowe's?
Yeah, I go into. Well, obviously, COVID doesn't affect Lowe's or Home Depot.
Oh, you finally figured that out too?
Doesn't affect them. It affects biker rallies in Sturgis, North Dakota.
Oh yeah, sure. I found that out too. Yeah, it's very selective drivers.
But if you're looting in the city of Louisville,
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, and nobody will bother you either.
Boy, we're really poking the bear now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna take a break.
I
we
got
come
a shotgun, though. I'll take care of the bear.
I'm gonna run some of these amendments. When we get back, I'm gonna use Joe as my guinea pig because he doesn't know sports, but he knows some politics.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna run these amendments by Joe and try to explain them to him where he has issues with them, if he has any. Joe may not have any. He may not understand them so well that there's no problem with them.
Just don't come to my house. I own a shotgun and a backhoe. There you go.
Okay. Didn't we just talk about 5 feet, Joe?
Don't come to my house. I got shotgun and backhoe.
Didn't we just say 5 feet, Joe? You don't dig 5 feet. Is that? You got good lye, good bleach. You don't have to go 5 foot down. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, no. I have my own section.
His name does end in a vowel, folks. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Joe's a guy.
Well, they said one
but
place.
Joe may know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah. What's the old saying? Hey, enough. I'm running out of room.
Exactly. Well, one of my favorite scenes in Goodfellas is such a nothing scene. It's where Henry's walking through the little tiki bar place before Tommy says, "What do you mean I'm a funny guy?" Right before that.
Yeah, what do you mean funny?
Yeah, and he's introducing. He goes, "There's Jimmy 2 times." He says everything 2 times. We're going to get the papers. Get the papers. He goes, and then there's Mickey Big Nose. Hey, and then my favorite scene. It says Mickey Big Nose. He says, "Hey, I talked to that guy about that thing you wanted. I talked to that guy."
Talk to the guy about the thing that you wanted. It's all set now. No problem.
I don't know what that meant, but I'm glad it wasn't about me. That's all I'm telling you.
Oh, that's it. That was it.
I talked to that guy about that thing you wanted me to talk to that guy about.
That's it. Well, what's that comedian that doesn't talk? All noises. Oh no, you're talking about Victor Borg.
Oh, Victor Borg.
No, I was talking about Tim Allen.
Or
with the noises the grunts and everything rather than words.
Yeah.
Did you get it done?
Yeah. So we're going to do that and see if Joe has actual knowledge or grunts and groans.
Grunts and groans I have.
With the amendments.
But that's just me getting up out of a chair.
We'll do that after this time out on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call 2 Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit 2meninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida
on Saturday, October 24th.
Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Howdy, folks. RL here from Dairy Queen Silver Springs, announcing the Patriot Pride Ride 2020 for President Donald Trump. Hundreds of cars, trucks, and motorcycles will assemble at the Veterans Memorial parking lot in Ocala, Florida at 1 p.m. Saturday, October the 10th. The route will head west on State Road 40 and end up at the Ocala Shriners Lodge. Food trucks, awesome speakers, and music by Nashville recording artist Jimmy Adams. Let's help save America. See you there.
What do you have going?
Brick City Creative Group is your one-stop multimedia destination. With the experience our team has, not many can really tell a story like we do. Specializing in live broadcasting, promo reels, film, and social media. No matter the story, we've got you covered with some of the best professionals in the industry. Your story is our mission. Find us on the web at brickcitycreativegroup.com or on Facebook at Brick City Creatives. Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz. Every day, Monday through Thursday, 11 to noon. I have Joe Martone in studio with me.
That's me.
Because we're going to talk about the amendments to the Florida Constitution, Joe. Yeah. You always hear about who's running for office, but these amendments, you just they expect you just to show up and
vote on them without education.
Without any education whatsoever.
That's right, yeah.
So, do you even know could you tell me any of the 6 amendments that you may be voting on this year?
Oh, I got a preview by you, so I can't cheat.
Right, minimum wage and
how to
amend the amendment. Right. Well, the First Amendment is a very controversial amendment.
Tell me.
The First Amendment is the citizen requirement for voting initiative. A yes vote supports amending the Florida Constitution to state that only a citizen of the U.S. who is 18 years old or older can vote in Florida. A no vote opposes amending the Florida Constitution, thus keeping the existing language that says every citizen of the U.S. who is 18 years older can vote in Florida. Now, you might say, what's the difference?
What's the difference, Tom?
The difference is every citizen means whether you're an English citizen or if you're a naturalized citizen, you haven't got your citizenship yet, but you're still able to vote because you pay taxes and everything, you might be able to vote. It doesn't say. The only clause says you have to be a U.S. citzen
to
vote.
I think that's the correct one.
Well, a lot of people do. A lot of people say, well, Mexicans and Spanish and Canadians and all that reside in this country and spend their tax dollars in this country and spend their money in this country.
Are they U.S. citizens?
They're citizens that live here. They're just not citizens of our country.
Well, then they should not vote on our stuff.
But they have to live by our laws, and they have to abide by what goes on.
They do not have to live by our laws.
They could leave.
Exactly.
Right. That's kind of
like anybody.
It's kind of nationalistic, kind of imperialistic, Joe.
No, not really.
That's what the liberals would tell you.
If you live in the United States,
the liberals would say, "Der Fuhrer." What are you talking about?
No, sorry, no. You live in the United States of America. You are an American. You are here. Respect it. Live by it. You don't like it, there's the border.
But what do you say to the person who's lived here for 15 years?
Okay.
They're working on getting their citizenship.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
No, but why? They're not a American U.S. citizen.
They shouldn't be able to vote until they get that card stamped.
So give me your tax dollars, but you don't get a say in how we spend it.
Correct. Except for one thing. Let's get it down to 1 year instead of 7.
So then you're telling me taxation without representation is okay?
No, you're living here. You're paying taxes to live here.
But you don't have any representative. You don't have a representative vote because you're not a citizen. So you're being taxed without representation.
You don't like it? Move.
Wasn't this country founded on a fight against taxation without representation?
That was T.
It was taxes.
T.
No, not just T. The Stamp Act. It was numerous taxes.
Right.
No, maybe give you a history lesson too now.
I've already been there, done that. Yeah.
No, but now you understand the controversy behind it.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it doesn't sound like much. Every citizen,
I don't believe
only citizens.
If someone's coming to the United States and they want to become a citizen, why on this green earth does it have to take 7 years?
But what about it? Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. But what if you're
6 months?
If you're a legal immigrant, you don't think you should be able to vote?
No. Why? Because you're getting all these blankety blank benefits for how much? Nothing?
No, that's illegal immigrants.
You just said that, illegal
No,
immigrants.
legal immigrants.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People that come in the country legally.
You're a legal immigrant, and you're coming to the country, yeah.
But you don't get to vote. Under Florida law, you wouldn't get to vote because you're not a U.S. citizen if the Constitution's amended. See, now that leads to that's an issue, isn't it?
That's a chicken of worms.
Well, that's what Amendment 1 is. That's what Amendment 1 is asking, and it takes 60% of the vote. You got to have a 60% yes or 60% no. Yes, good. No kills the amendment. So either way, it's 60% is what it takes.
So once you get 60%, then it passes.
It passes, right?
And it goes.
Right, it does go. We got 5 more to get through. We'll do it after the break. You're listening to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz, Joe Martone, hanging out with me and joining me as well, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We got 5 more amendments to get through, Joe. The minimum wage being one of the important ones. Plus, we're going to tell you how we're going to amend the way we amend the amendments. We'll do that next, right here on WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump is feeling good as he recovers from his coronavirus infection, says White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows.
He's doing real well. We actually spent some time together yesterday working very hard from the residence, and I can tell you that he's fully engaged and feeling great.
He was on Fox and Friends. The president's scheduled to debate Joe Biden again next Thursday in Miami. Biden says he's looking forward to it, but that it shouldn't happen if the president still has coronavirus.
We're going to have to follow very strict guidelines. Too many people have been infected.
Trump campaign senior advisor Jason Miller tells Fox Business Network.
It sounds like Joe Biden's trying to weasel his way out of a debate here, but if President Trump is cleared and he's healthy and he's ready to go, then of course we're pushing forward. The president fully plans on being there next week, ready to rock.
The vice presidential candidates debate tonight. America's listening to Fox News.
You like your burger medium well, your peanut butter crunchy, and your mattress firm. It's the little things that make you, you. And you deserve a Medicare plan that fits your unique needs. That's why United Healthcare is offering more plan options than ever, so you can find just the right plan for you. Call 1-800-362-8715. That's 1-800-362-8715 to get Medicare with more. Remember, Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th.
An important message from Medicare.
You know how Medicare plans can change from year to year?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this coming year, premiums are at historic lows.
Really?
Yeah, and hundreds of plans will have insulin for just $35 a month.
That will save some money. Can't wait to look at my plan choices for 2021.
Open enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th.
Comparing plans really pays.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
The NFL alumni is sponsoring a Clay for Kids sporting event to benefit Champions for Champions. The event will take place at the Robinson Ranch in Inglis, Florida
on Saturday, October 24th.
Call 866-996-2182 for details. The NFL alumni will provide gift bags, breakfast, lunch, and prizes. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Clay for Kids. Call 866-996-2182 for details. Hosted by the NFL alumni.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping.
Howdy, folks. RL here from Dairy Queen Silver Springs, announcing the Patriot Pride Ride 2020 for President Donald Trump. Hundreds of cars, trucks, and motorcycles will assemble at the Veterans Memorial parking lot in Ocala, Florida at 1 p.m. Saturday, October the 10th. The route will head west on State Road 40 and end up at the Ocala Shriners Lodge. Food trucks, awesome speakers, and music by Nashville recording artist Jimma Adams. Let's help save America. See you there.
Brick City Creative Group is your one-stop multimedia destination. With the experience our team has, not many can really tell a story like we do. Specializing in live broadcasting, promo reels, film, and social media. No matter the story, we've got you covered with some of the best professionals in the industry. Your story is our mission. Find us on the web at brickcitycreativegroup.com or on Facebook at Brick City Creatives. Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. If you were looking for Mike Gallagher, he is no longer on 11 to 12. I am on 11 to 12 Monday through Thursday. That may change, may or may not change after the election. We're still looking into that. But I am here Monday through Thursday. Today, on today's show, we're talking about the amendments to the Florida Constitution. We went over Amendment 1 that wants to change it from every citizen to only citizens, which means even legal immigrants, people who came in this country legally, would not be able to vote in the state of Florida elections until they got their full citizenship. Joe is on record as saying he's okay with that. But then when he said, wait, you mean legal? Now he had a little trepidation. But which is, by the way, that's what everybody should have of these amendments, because it makes you think and then you make an informed decision.
Come on, we have 4 more to go. Let's go.
An informed decision is what you need to make. All right, Amendment 2.
Number 2.
The minimum wage initiative, $15. A yes vote supports the initiative to increase the state's minimum wage incrementally until reaching $15 per hour in September of 2026. A no vote opposes the initiative to increase the state's minimum wage incrementally until reaching $15 in September, thereby keeping the current minimum wage of $8.46 per hour, which, by the way, is $1.21 more. Which is $1.21 more than the national minimum wage.
Okay.
The national minimum wage is $7.25. Ours is $8.46.
Minimum wage should be locked in at $7.25 national. Stay with them. I will give you an example why the minimum wage should not go up to $15. Easy example. And this you can.
This is Joe Martone's opinion here, folks.
My opinion. You can relate to this, Tom. You go to the dentist, you get your teeth cleaned.
Yes.
They charge you $100, $150 now.
Yes.
It used to be $50.
Yes.
Why did it go up? Because all the wages went up. Everything went up. Everything went up. So what do they have to do? It has to be passed on to.
Yeah, they're not going to pass this minimum wage on to themselves.
That's right.
They're either going to cut staff,
or
they're going to pass your $5 McDonald's hamburger will now be a $12 McDonald's hamburger.
Well, it'll be up there. It'll be up there. So
And here's how they're planning to do it.
Minimum wage is supposed to be for young people just getting into the workforce.
It's not a career wage.
Thank you.
$10, it would move from $8.46 to $10 on September 30th of 2021. $11 September 30th, 2022. $12 on September 30th, 2023.
And no.
$13 September 30th, 2024. $14 on September 30th, 2025. And $15 on September 30th, 2026.
No.
And beginning on September 30th, 2027.
Yeah.
There would be an annual adjustment to the state minimum wage based on increases to the consumer price index for urban wage owners and clerical workers.
Okay, so Social Security is going to go up by that much in percentage. Oh, wait a minute. No, they don't do that. So the cost of living is not following the minimum wage. No, it doesn't match. Nope.
Well, Florida last raised the minimum wage in 2004. They raised it to $6.15 per hour and also said it increases yearly based on the changes in the consumer price index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. That's why it's at $8.46 an hour here as opposed to $7.25 nationally. So they've already put the increase in
whether you
for
want
clerical workers and all, but they want to make it $15 and then put the increase in.
No.
Here's what's going to happen. I was in the restaurant industry for a long time, and that's the industry that's going to be most affected by this. Say what you want, the restaurant industry, the service and hospitality industry is going to be what's affected the most. What you're going to do is you're going to cut your service staff in half because you're not going to do more than 30 or 31% labor. It's not going to happen. Because the restaurant industry is the percentage of profit is so minute.
Right. Yeah.
That when you got a 28% food cost, you got a 30% labor cost, and you got a 22 to 23% beer, wine, and alcohol cost. Now do that math. 30% plus 28% is 58%, plus 22%. Now you're at 80%. Then you got to pay advertising costs and usually a franchise right fee, which is another 10%. Your profit margin is 10%. If you hike the labor wage up, take another 5%. Let's just say your labor goes from costing you 30% to 35%. Now you're only getting a 5% profit.
Okay, I just bought a hamburger. You know how much it cost me? $10.
Yeah.
$10.99. Sorry. $11 for a hamburger. Then you get 20% on top of that to give to the server.
100%.
To give me a hamburger.
Yep.
And if they're going to go $15, guess what? That hamburgers are going to go up to $16.
And the server's tips going down to nothing.
I'm sorry, but if...
And by the way, I know a lot of servers. I've been in the restaurant industry for a long time. I work as my trivia gig at night. I still do restaurant. You tell a server, we're going to cap you off at $15 an hour.
Yeah, no tips.
There's a lot of servers that don't want to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
Because I know good servers that make, I think it's $5 an hour, or right around $5 an hour. Plus, and in the restaurant, if the tips don't make up the difference, the restaurant has to make up the difference to the $8.46. Tips always make up the difference an hour.
Oh, yeah.
A good server on a good Friday night pulling $700-800 down.
Good.
Works out to about $25-30 an hour. And that's at your normal restaurants. You get some of the restaurants like the finer eateries downtown, I won't mention, but you know the places I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Those servers can pull $1,500, $1,600, $1,800 a night down.
Yeah, forget about it.
They don't want $15 an hour. No. This is something that literally, I believe, is the people who are working the counters at movie theaters, fast food restaurants, stuff like that. And by the way, That's an entry-level job. That's not a career.
Okay.
It's just my opinion.
This horse is dead. Don't beat it anymore. Next.
The Third Amendment. The top 2 open primaries for state office initiative. Now, what this does is it opens up the primaries where there is no party affiliation. You know how I'm a registered Republican.
Yeah.
When I go to vote in the primaries, I can only vote for the Republicans running.
Right.
A registered Democrat can only vote for the Democrats running.
Right.
If you're a registered independent, you can't vote for either in the primary because you're not either party affiliate.
You get what's fed at the end.
Right. This would open it up where all the primaries, every candidate is available for you to vote on in the primaries. And then the top 2 finishers. So say you got 4 Republicans, 4 Democrats, and 2 independents.
Everybody votes for them.
Let's say both the Democrats, one of the Democrats gets 37%, the other Democrat gets 35%, and everybody else is below them. In the general election, you're voting on 2 Democrats.
Ooh, could be.
That's what this amendment says.
It could happen.
That, though, they act like they give you more choice in the primary, but they take choice from you in the general election.
Yeah.
It is, like Jim Penna said, a bait and switch, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay?
That was an easy one.
That was an easy one. Let's go to number 4. It's the Constitution. Oh, here we go. This is the amendment that talks about how to amend the amendments. Are you confused yet, Joe?
Continue.
Amendment 4, they require constitutional amendments to be passed twice initiative.
Oh, this is...
A yes vote supports requiring voter approval constitutional amendments
60%?
to be approved by voters at a second general election before it can become effective.
No. The first general election should be it, and never mind. 60%. Okay, we got it, but now we got to do it the second time around, and we got to get 60%.
Well,
again.
hold on. A no vote opposes requiring voter-approved constitutional amendments to be approved by voters at a second general election. Amendment 4 would require constitutional amendments to be approved by voters at 2 successive general elections to become effective.
No, I disagree.
And here's why. Okay? 60% supermajority was added in 2006. So you got to have 60%.
Yeah.
We've changed this Constitution, the Florida Constitution, hundreds of times. We've amended it hundreds of times since the inception of the state in 1845.
I'm with you.
Hundreds.
I hear you.
The U.S. Constitution has been amended 27 times, and the first 10 amendments were part of the Constitution originally. It was offered with the original document of the Constitution with the Bill of Rights, the 10 amendments. So we've actually, since the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were given to the general public in 1789,
yes,
we've amended it 17 times. Florida Constitution has been amended hundreds of times in 175 years.
Okay. Here's my reasoning why you shouldn't do it twice. You get your 60%, that's it. You don't get the next time we go around, we have to still have another. No, you get that 60%. Well, they can vote again, yeah. How about the ones that die or move out of state? Oops, wait a minute. Where did the 60%
Which
go?
is exactly why some people would tell you they need the second time, because what if people just move here? And people do this. People do this.
What?
There are groups that move people in. They rent short-term leases and everything.
Well, you got to be here 6 months.
They register to vote. They vote, then they move back, and Florida's Constitution gets amended by people that don't actually live here. Happens a lot. You don't think it happens a lot, but it happens a lot.
Oh, no.
This would allow it where you voted in.
Wait a minute. They can still do it twice. What the hell?
They can do it right, but it would cost more money to do it twice. But
it depends what it is.
And here's the reasoning behind it is because we do a lot of knee-jerk reaction stuff to the Constitution. If you go look, like last election cycle, we had an amendment that was amending how we word things in the Constitution. Some of this stuff needs to be legislative, not voter approved.
A lot of this stuff needs to be written in English, not in Latin.
You mean lawese?
Yeah, no lawese.
Not lawese.
Thou, thee, thou, thumb, and the fourth of the seventh.
I see your point of it got voted in by 60% of the electorate. Let it go. And see, I would think 67%, 2/3.
Okay.
If it gets 2/3 of the votes, because 60% is not 2/3. 2/3 is a little higher threshold than 60%. I would think if it was 2/3 of the vote, that's 2/3. Move on. Somebody goes, what's the difference between 2/3 and 60%? About 7%, which is huge in elections.
Yeah, it is.
You know, when something passes 61% to 39%, well, you didn't get 67% because it's difficult to do. So that's how I would look at it. I would look to increase the number up to 2/3 vote instead of 60%.
But you have to put an amendment in to do that.
You'd have to put an amendment in to do that. Yeah, of course. Amendment 5. Let's talk about Amendment
We're up
5.
to 5?
Here we are. Amendment 5 to the Florida, it extends Save Our Homes Portability Period Amendment. It's on the Florida ballot as a legislative referred constitutional amendment. So this was something that legislators put on the ballot.
I'm listening.
A yes vote supports extending the period during which a person may transfer Save Our Home benefits to a new homestead property from 2 years to 3 years. So you can already do it within 2 years. This would just increase it to 3 years. A no vote would oppose that. Now, what's that mean? This amendment would extend the period during which a person may transfer Save Our Home benefits to a new homestead property. Currently, as a person moves to a new home, they have 2 years to transfer their Save Our Home benefits to the new home assessed at less than just value. The amendment would increase that time period to 3 years. So right now, when you move from your old home that you have homesteaded to a new home, you have up to 2 years to homestead that new home. This would give you 3 years.
Why do you need 3 years?
Because you may keep the other one and it's a rental property for 3 years and you still got it homesteaded, so you get a tax break on your rental property. It's cheating the system, Joe.
Again, 2 years.
I think 2 years is plenty.
Yeah. Next.
The last one. Amendment 6.
Tell me about it.
It would change homestead property discounts in Florida.
What?
This amendment would allow a homestead property discount to be transferred to the surviving. Joe's going to. By the way, Joe's voting yes for this, and he doesn't even know what the amendment is. Joe, say yes. I'm voting yes.
Oh, possibility.
No. Say you're voting yes.
Oh, no.
No, believe me. 100%, 110%. You're saying yes. So go ahead and say.
I want to hear it first.
This amendment would allow a homestead property discount to be transferred to the surviving spouse of a deceased veteran.
Oh.
If a veteran dies and the house is in the veteran's name, the homestead can then be passed to the surviving spouse of that veteran. So the spouse doesn't have to go re-homestead it and all. It just passes to their name.
You mean that make sense?
Well, yeah.
Holy mackerels.
What it does is if the discount will be ineffective until the spouse remarries, sells, or otherwise disposes of the property.
There you go.
If the spouse sells the property and does not remarry, the spouse's new primary residence may receive a homestead tax discount not exceeding the dollar amount from the most recent ad valorem tax roll.
Now, what happens if the...
Currently, the homestead property tax discount for veterans expires upon their death and is not extended to their spouse.
Okay, so the veteran passes on, the spouse is there, the exemption goes to that spouse, then the spouse gets remarried to another veteran. Does it stay in place?
No, it goes away.
So the new veteran has to, new spouse has to apply.
Right.
Okay.
But it just gives a discount. The discount was usually for veterans over 65 years old. They approved, remember, would allow disabled veterans 65 or older to take a discount on their homestead property tax equal in proportion to the amount of disability. In 2010, Florida voters extended homestead tax discounts to active military personnel by approving Amendment 2, which provided the discount in proportion to the time served on active duty outside of the U.S. Florida voters extended the home tax discount benefit to disabled veterans in 2012, also with an approval of Amendment 2 that year. So this just now extends all of those tax discounts to the spouses of those veterans if the veteran passes away. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I concur.
That's our thoughts on the amendments and the way we tried to explain them to them. 622-9622 if you have your thoughts.
Oh, we're talking about veterans. I got a little ditty here for you there. It kind of flows right into that.
Okay.
It's Thursday, October 1st. The VA launched phase 1 of a program, compensation assistance for family caregivers. The new program extends eligibility and establishes new benefits for designated primary family caregivers of eligible veterans. And who potentially qualifies? Well, a veteran who incurred or aggravated a serious injury. Now, that includes serious illnesses, too, in the line of duty, in the active military, naval, or air service in or after September 11, 2001, or on or before May 7, 1975. And the veteran must have a serious injury, which is a single or combined service-connected disability, rating of 70% or more. So
now, is that physical disability or does PTSD work as well?
Now that it doesn't say.
Because PTSD could make you 100% disabled.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, the one thing I'm proud of is the service of any veteran to this country. I'm very proud of any veteran, yourself included, Joe. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
The guys like Hank and all that come in here and the veterans that they support, I thank those veterans, and I'm very proud that they serve this country well. What I'm also very proud of is that I was able to grow up in a time where I didn't have to face the trials and tribulations you guys had to face.
Yeah.
Because I grew up, I was 10 years old in 1975 when we got out of that mess. Then by the time we got into Desert Storm, I was 27 years old and, beat up and banged up from football and not a physical specimen enough to be in the military. So I consider myself lucky that I came through a period of relative ease. But I also understand that relative ease have made us lazy and apathetic. And
that's one way of saying it.
The veterans that served in the Gulf War and in the Middle East and in Afghanistan, they have a kindred with the brothers that served in Vietnam and Korea, unlike anything I can understand, because I grew up between 1975 and 1992 when we didn't have things called combat service. We had men and women who trained for combat service.
Yeah.
We had men and women in the Coast Guard who fight in the drug war with drug czars and all were on the front lines. But for the most part, peace-wise, we had skirmishes here and there where we were supported. But there was not all-out combat warfare until the early 90s. From 1975, and I feel blessed and lucky that I didn't have to make the decisions that people I know very well, friends of mine from the early 90s that had to make, and guys like you had to make in the 60s and 70s. I'm glad I wasn't faced with that.
People don't understand the hours. There's no, how many hours you work? What? How many hours? What do you mean? You just work. That's it. Go in, do this.
At 3 in the morning in a foxhole in Vietnam, whether you're sleeping or not, which, by the way, didn't come very often, you were working because a mortar or something could come at you at any moment.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, my son, my second youngest, he was in Afghanistan, and I've got pictures that are not publishable that he's gotten to me and everything. But it's like, no, it's ridiculous. But on a brighter note, I see the steel going up right here. Behind Starbucks off of 200 there, next to Homeward Suites, I guess.
Right.
The steel's going up for the new VA clinic.
I see that.
And it's like, wow.
You mean the Cascades will no longer be the home of the VA?
You mean the sinking Cascades?
Well, when you build something on a hole.
Yeah. At the time.
Although I love the Cascades, don't get me wrong.
How many pictures have been taken there?
I have very great memories of sitting in the radio station at the Cascades.
With the waterfall going. And
WOCA.
That's right. Yeah.
Great times there.
We got out of there before it flooded 4 foot high.
I do remember a foot high, though.
Foot high, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Joe.
Turtles going.
Joe, what are all these fans for? Don't ask me. I'm not talking about it. I remember that day I walked in, I go, what are all these fans in here for? You go, nothing. Don't talk about it.
You know nothing. You see nothing. There's no mold here. Nothing. No.
Oh, so
Dan's office. I remember him ripping the rug out of the office.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy said, what are you ripping in my... It's all moldy. Well, you got to replace it. Yeah, come on, give me a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
He never got a new one.
Yeah, I remember we had pieces of wood on the ground to keep the wires up so that they wouldn't lay in the water.
Oh, yeah. I remember Larry put a 6-pack of Pepsi.
Yeah.
And I was almost going to frame that. Because here's aluminum cans
with wires on top of it in the water,
so the water
don't
go
through. Yeah.
And it didn't. That good. It didn't.
Yeah.
It's amazing. How many days I walked there and you walk on the rug and
Oh yeah.
I'm going, okay.
How many days when you were there and you looked out in the sawgrass and there was a homeless guy coming? Never mind. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
Boy. Well, we didn't have...
The elevator always smelled so well.
No, under the stairs smelled
just beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. And the activities that went on over there was like... And now I wish... just by a few years, YouTube. And the videos would have been like,
if in 2011, if YouTube had been as big and Facebook Live had been as big and Snapchat and all as it is now,
how many of those
we would be wealthy.
Yes.
Because we just set a camera up just to and you get the most views from 9 at night till 6 in the morning. That would be most people would be watching.
Well, but 6. No, sometimes it's 10 in the morning. Depends who was in the area.
Hey, before we got to wrap up. We got a couple minutes. Sad news from the sports world.
Oh, that's how you do sports now?
Sad news from the sports world, but could be a positive in the end. We used to, and I don't know if you still do, but I know at one time Florida State football played on these airwaves. I know that WOCO used to carry the Florida State Seminole games.
Oh, you have to talk to the program director.
Well, legendary Florida State football coach Bobby Bowden, who turns 91 next month, told the Tallahassee Democrat Monday morning he was diagnosed with COVID-19, but he feels fine. He'd been hospitalized at Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare for nearly 2 weeks with leg infection following the removal of cancer spots. He was transferred to the hospital's rehab center and was released last Thursday. He was informed by his physician on Saturday that he tested positive for COVID-19. Bowden said he's not exhibited any symptoms such as fever, coughing, and breathing issues associated with the illness. His sense of humor also remained intact. I don't feel bad yet. I guess I can loaf around the rest of the week. I just got to keep an eye out for some of these symptoms.
Oh, gee.
Bowden said he's the only person in his household who's tested positive. He also quarantined himself at his Killarney Estate home. Bowden said he and his family members are staying at the house. Wife Ann, daughter Robin, and grandson Hunter will be retested today. So, Seminole Nation, Bobby Bowden's a very religious person, so send your prayers out to Bobby Bowden as he is tested. Dadgummit!
What?
He tested positive for coronavirus 19, COVID-19. That's his thing, Joe. Dadgummit.
Dadgummit, okay.
That's what Bobby would always say. Dadgummit. Dadgummit, them referees, they just didn't have it in. They had it in for us today.
I don't know anything about that. Ain't nothing about
that. I'm not a big Florida State fan, but Bobby Bowden was is a class act.
Yeah, don't say was yet, please.
Yeah, he is a class act. Really, really, really nice guy. I got to meet him in 1982 when we did Southern Ford, the Southern Ford dealerships, Southeastern Ford dealerships.
Oh, yeah.
Came to West Nassau High School in Callahan and filmed a generic commercial with Charlie Pell, Bobby Bowden, and Vince Dooley. And our high school football team, we dressed in white pants and white shirts and shoulder pads and solid white helmets. And we were the football team behind them practicing while they were doing their commercial. So it looked like they were at football practice. That was what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
It's another day in paradise.
It is another day in paradise. Hey, and speaking of that brings a close to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. I'd like to thank Joe Martone for being my guinea pig today on the amendments, trying to figure out if you understand them or not. Remember, folks, go vote. And if you don't vote,
don't bitch.
I say this with the most sincerity, I can say. If you don't vote, shut up.
Ooh.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
2 British Islamic State fighters accused in the torture and killing of Kayla Mueller will be brought to the United States and face criminal charges in Virginia. Assistant Attorney General of the United States, John C. Demers, has a message for terrorists.
If you harm an American, you will face the same fate as these men. You will face American arms in the battlefield. And if you survive that, you will face American justice in an American courtroom and the prospect of many years in an American prison.
The White House is not giving up on stimulus before the election just yet. Chief of Staff Mark Meadows wants a piecemeal approach, saying both sides agree on about 10 areas and can pass them quickly. Wall Street giving the thumbs up on that news as the Dow in early trading up over 400 points at times. This is USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Changing the world, one life at a time.
The product that you have given me here is, as far as I'm concerned, sent to me from heaven. I love it a great deal. It's hard to find anything that's real nowadays. I enjoy it immensely. It's making my life so much better. I feel so much better. And during this pandemic, I have no worries whatsoever. My immune system has got to be at a top-notch level. I don't seem to get cold